Hello and welcome to chapter 14 of Bookish Babes After Dark. Today's episode, we are talking about Puck Pact by Kristen Granata. This is a single dad hockey romance, and if that's not your vibe,
then I'm sorry.
Sure what you do. But if for some reason it's not, don't leave. Look at something we've already done, or stick around for something we do in the future, because there will be something for you. And yeah, we're amazing, so just stick around. All I've got to say on the matter.
I'd say that was pretty well done.
Thank you.
Right to the point.
So, Puck Pact. There are no triggers because this is a nice, fluffy romance.
Look at us doing fluff. It's spicy though.
It
is spicy. There is no triggers, are there?
Oh no, hang on. There is a preface, so we'll read that out. Is it preface or preface?
Something before something.
Something before something.
That one.
So, apologies, I'm poorly.
Cough it out.
I'll try and not do that. There are several scenes in the story where the heroine's boss sexually harasses her and other female employees. The scenes are not overly graphic and it's always stopped before it goes too far. Furthermore, if you are triggered by hospitals, please proceed with caution. If you would like specific details before reading, you can reach out to me on social media and I'll be happy to give you some spoilers because your mental health matters to me. The book is a standalone in my East Coast series. It follows characters from Heart Trick and Odd Man Rush, which are the first two books in the series. Ooh. You don't have to read them in order to read this one, but she hopes that you love the characters enough to read them. So I have to say I am considering going back and reading them because I just love her writing. And I've now, for some reason, got an obsession with collecting her books because they're just...
That is good, that. That's what
I also have another one, which I'm not going to show the... No, I can't show it in case somebody figures it out.
Somebody
knows. That is also the same, and I'm just now obsessed. So the blurb. I've never had a problem convincing a man to take me home for a night of fun until I met Alexandra Krum. No. Let's start this bit again.
Alexandra!
Rewind!
Let's go again.
So the blurb. I've never had a problem convincing a man to take me home for a night of fun until I meet Alexander Krum. I almost said Alexandra. He leaves me wanting more at the end of every encounter. Despite our insane attraction to one another, we couldn't be more opposite. He wants to take me on a date. I want to head straight to his bedroom. He believes in romance. I know men in romance books don't exist. He always wants to help, and I can take care of myself. But then he comes to me with a proposition. A marriage arrangement to save his family's villa. His substantial offer has me overlooking our differences and saying I do. There is only one problem. He's been hiding a secret from the media for the last 4 years. Pretending to be a wife is one thing, but this? I'm the last person he should want in this role. Yet I can't bring myself to walk away. The incentive is too great, and when it's over, I will have my dream. And it will be over. It's not destined for happily ever... Oh no, I'm not destined for happily ever afters, no matter how real this charade is starting to feel. Well. So, as always, overall thoughts and opinions on the book. Ellie, let's go.
I rated this a 4.5. Yeah, 4.5 stars. I loved it. I don't know why it's not a 5, but we know what we're like with ratings here. We'll rate them 4.5. Don't know why they're not a 5, but feel like they are. We pass over it.
Yeah. We just ignore it.
Glaze over that fact. I really enjoyed it. Like, I'm a hockey girly, so I'm always here for a hockey romance. I love it. Reading it whilst it's off season as well is just made me miss the hockey even more. But again, I'm a sucker for a single dad. I said this when we did Wild Love. The single dad trope, I just absolutely...
The single dad trope is elite.
Literally. But liked the fact that it wasn't the man that was like, I want to get in your pants. It was the opposite way around. And I've
Yeah.
never read anything like that. Like, it was so refreshing in a
Mm.
way. And like, I did end up crying in this book, which I wasn't expecting.
I got all sad and cried.
But no, I really enjoyed it, and I am looking at reading some more of her work just because I really liked her writing style and like the layout of the books, having like just it was just so lovely, and having like full like texts
I
in
love
the
a
book.
text chat.
I love a
It's
text thread.
Whether it's an email or anything like that, I do love a little.
And we're not talking just one or two here and there. We're
No.
talking full pages. We're also talking full-on text bubbles.
Yes,
Like, we like this shit.
I do. That's like one of my favourite things.
Jord, what did you rate it?
But I think I gave it a 4.5, and like still, I could push it to a 5. But with my 5-star ratings, if I give something a 5, it's because I can continuously think about it. Like, for me to give it a 5, I would have to like, it'd have to live in my brain continuously. But yeah, like Ellie said before, it was nice to see like the woman be like, yeah, I'm having a bit of you. And the dude's like, whoa, take me out to dinner first. You know, and it was just like, I do, in any book I read, I do like a strong FMC. I do like that there's no shits given with her. You know, she knows what she wants and she's going for it.
Yeah.
Whereas Alexander's very like, he wears his heart on his sleeve, you know, and I think it was nice to see him sort of be, not like bullied by her, but sort of put in his place
Yeah.
by a woman. But then when it gets to the scenes with them together, he's the one putting her in her place.
I
know it's just like, this is delicious. This is what I need.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. The whole story itself, it was so easy to read. I never felt like I was bored. I never felt like I was, you know, there was anything lacking. So to be honest, I could push it to a 5 if I was just throwing 5 stars out like nobody's business.
Apologies for interrupting you there.
Mm.
Yeah, so side note to anyone, if you hear like little tippity-tappity feet, it's a very old dog walking around on the floor.
Yeah.
And unfortunately doesn't get the hint when I try and shush him for the podcast. So he is the 4th member.
Yes, the mascots.
Exactly, yeah. I rated it 5 stars. Oh, there's the 5th one.
Yes.
Samwise.
He's like, hey guys, hey, it's me.
He just wants some mini cuddle.
Yeah.
We're
That's
so
fine, Sam.
professional.
I know.
You say that. I mean, Mason's having a drink. It's all going on.
You know, we've got to do what we've got to do. I never said we were good at it.
We're just doing this for funsies.
I know.
So this was a 5-star for me. So my 5-star rating, it would be the same as yours, George, in that if I couldn't stop thinking about it. However, I can't remember it after I've read about it. So that couldn't be a category for me because otherwise I'd never have any 5 stars. But for me, it's if like it's really evoked some form of like emotion from me while I'm reading it. Because a lot of the time I can sit there through like really hard-hitting stories and I can just be like,
oh, that's fine.
Cool.
Zero emotion.
Yeah.
Whereas I did actually shed a tear.
Just a slight little...
I got misty-eyed.
Oh, yes.
How could you do this to us?
It's happening to us now.
And so for that reason, 5-star.
Mm.
And I think for me, the big thing was like the comedy.
Oh, yeah.
It was hilarious. Like, in so many parts. It was sexy in so many parts. And it just made me like, aww.
Wow.
In so many others.
Yeah.
It was like, literally, it's the definition of an all-rounder, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you a bit of everything.
because it is downright filthy as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
And I just love that. I love that so much.
I know. So, favourite part and least favourite part of the book, I would say, I'm going to go first this time.
All right. While it's fresh in the mind.
While it's fresh in the mind. Favourite part of the book is really hard. But I think my favourite part is when Juliana is... Actually, I'll start with my least favourite part because then it'll make sense. My least favourite part, I don't have one, but the bit that hurt me was when he went into a coma and was in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like...
Don't do that. Don't do that to us.
You've just found happiness.
I know.
She's just finally got to that point where she's like, oh yeah, I love you, like,
Yeah, this is what I want, yeah.
yeah. And now you just hit your head on the ice.
And he just goes and gets a bonk to the head. There's no
Like,
need.
why?
Why'd you go and do that?
I know.
Yeah, like,
What have you done that for?
And so then my favourite part of the book was that after that, Juliana, his daughter, did a picture and she included why can't I remember her name?
Aria.
Aria, I think it is. She included Aria and put mummy underneath it, and then he got it tattooed on over his heart.
Just take me out now.
Gone, done, gone,
I'm done.
gone.
I'm out. So yeah, they were mine.
I don't think I could give you a least favourite. Obviously, like with the hospital scene, it is heart-wrenching because, you know, they've gone back and forth this whole time. You know, she's trying to convince herself that it's fake, and he's been like, yeah, but it's not. We both know it's not.
Yeah.
You know, and then it comes like full circle at the end where she sort of realises like, oh, maybe I am sort of in love with him and I am like worried for him and things like this. So, you know, and that sort of got me where I thought it cannot end with him croaking it. There's no way. I refuse. I would throw the book. The book would be gone. I'd be like, excuse me, I'm never reading it again. But I couldn't even pinpoint a favourite scene because they were all great.
I think that's the good thing about this book. It's so consistent.
Yeah. From the get-go to right to the very end, they're just...
It wasn't like... It didn't take them ages to get that chemistry. Like, there wasn't any part of it where I was like, right, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Come on, type of thing.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this is actually... It was either... It was funny or it hurt me emotionally or, like, you know, it was spicy. There wasn't, like, a lull in it, really.
No, because I hate that because it's kind of a slow burn, but it's not at the same time because obviously they both know what they're getting into. But I can't stand in books where obviously it takes them so long to like get together, if you will, and then he comes in like a massive third act breakup where it's like, and then one of them is groveling and it's like,
yeah. Because I think the thing with this, and I think a slow burn when it's done right,
it's done really well.
Yeah, because you don't. Yeah, okay, you don't have the sex scenes until like later on in the book, but you don't mind because the chemistry build up is enough for you to start with.
Yeah.
I think that's where slow burns go wrong.
Yeah, I think if there's no chemistry between the two characters in the first couple of chapters, and then they go full blown like balls deep, quite literally, that it sort of like ruins it for you because you've not lubed me up beforehand.
You've got it dry.
It's such a good analogy, though. Like, it's such a good analogy. Like, it's so true.
Yeah, that's the way I can put it. If you've not fucking tooed me, then I'm sorry. What do you want me to do?
I'm out.
You can't expect me to have a good time.
No.
That's all I'm saying. But I had a great time.
Love it. So is there a scene that stuck with you the most?
Oh.
Oh, when they're at the wedding.
Yeah.
I think it's when they're at the wedding, and
I think I know which one you're going to say.
is it this? I don't know if I'm thinking of the right. I don't know if they're at the wedding or if they're
They're at some sort of
somewhere else.
event, aren't they? Something like that.
And they go
Yeah,
to the
they're at an
cloakroom.
event of some sort, and they're talking about this video that he put out because the whole team did it. And he's like, "You better not go watch that video." And she's like,
And she's like,
mm-mm. She's
stay
like,
clear.
I am not gonna go and watch that video later. I'm not gonna go watch it. It's fine.
Absolutely
Trust
not.
me. Trust me. I'm not gonna do it. But she does it anyway. And she's like sorting herself out in the bathroom watching the video. And she walks in and she's like
is that my
caught
dick
with
on
a
your
hand in the
butt?
cookie jar type thing. And he just sort of goes, I can help with that. And I'm like,
Say no more, sir.
yeet.
I don't even need this phone anymore.
No. What?
Because it was that scene that was like, because that's really like their first like spicy scene that they have. But then it's also, the one where she sets up her boss
Yeah.
and he comes like barging in, and I made sure to tab it in a different color just so I could talk about it. And he literally, so it goes, I think this is from Arya's point of view. And it says, the last clear thought I have is Sharona was right. I don't know if if I'll get to tell her that. My eyelids droop close and a hand around my neck releases me. Get your fucking hands off my wife. And I'm like,
I want a fucking back.
fucking punch someone.
I could just
Funnily enough,
bitch.
I wanted to bring up the whole my wife thing
Mm.
because this is consistent for our old Krumcake. He consistently says, because obviously when they're first together, obviously nothing's happened, has it, between them? Like, it's all
No.
friendly banter. But, and she's like, he said, like, I want you to move in with me, and there's like no more walking around on your own, like you can have a bodyguard. And she goes, oh, a bodyguard, huh? Sounds fun. And then he said, my wife will not be having an affair with her bodyguard. Then she goes, then I guess my husband better figure out how he's going to keep me from straying. And then he says, my wife will not touch another man. She will not look at another man, flirt with another man, think about another man. She will not fantasize about any other man besides her husband. She belongs to me and I belong to her. Is that clear? I'm still a little unclear on all that. It doesn't seem very fair to me. Why not? The same rules apply to me. You're the only woman that can choose my thoughts. You're the only woman that I long to touch. The only woman I fantasize about every night when I wrap my hand around my cock. The only woman whose name I whisper as I make myself come.
Puddle.
Oh, you nasty man.
Fucking puddle.
You nasty fucking bitch.
He is a specimen.
He's so golden retriever coded, but he's so nasty at the same time.
He fucks me hard over the side of the bike, owning my body, slapping my ass and pulling my hair. I love how he takes control, dominating me in the way I crave. Like I'm at his mercy and all I can do is submit to him because I know he'll give me everything I need. He always knows what I need. This pussy is mine. You are mine. I'm going to fuck you like this every day. I want you so sore that every time you move, you'll remember it was my cock who did that to you.
Well.
Excuse me, sir.
And call me a Krumcake. I just fucking.
Where can I
Where do we
get lessons that I can purchase a gift card to that will make men
Like
want
this.
this man to me.
Do they sell it on Amazon? Can I get
Are
them to
they
deliver it?
delivered on Prime?
Yeah, can I get it next day? In fact, can I get same day?
Same day.
delivery? I will pay a premium.
I will pay more for this.
Take my money.
I don't need it at this point. I just like the fact, so I am a sucker for a crawl to me man.
Mm.
Right. And I don't know what that is. Something weird happens to me, all right, when that happens. And she basically,
Mate.
literally, she has a shower, as you do after Little Hanky Panky. And he asks her where her rings are. Now, bearing in mind, we're still sort of like fake at the moment. We're still a bit like, do I like him? Do I not? Has he just got a big dick? Probably. You know, what can you do? So she basically says, oh, I took them off before I took a shower. I guess I forgot to put them back on. And he's like, you forgot. As if like, what the fuck? And she basically says, we'll make sure you never forget again. Put those rings back on your finger. Then I want to see you crawl to me. And I was just like, here we go.
Where's the knee pads?
Yeah,
Bring me the knee pads.
I've got bad knees, but I will have a go.
It might take me 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
I will crawl for you.
But I will get there.
I will.
I will slither myself across the floor to get to you.
Like that. I'll get there in a minute.
Oh,
So
so many good parts to this book. Like, there's the one where Juliana says to Arya, "My dad, do you love him? I
Yeah.
care about him very much. Why do you ask?" And she goes, "Because if you love him and he loves you, then maybe you can be my mum." But
Why do that to me?
she's such a cute kid, because there's that bit at the end where obviously, like, they profess their love to each other, like, fully, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
But they're like renewing their vows, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're like
essentially.
they're like actually getting married.
Yeah, and like, because he's in like, he's in the hospital still, isn't he?
Mm.
And because obviously she's figured out that he changed his will so that she would be Juliana's guardian if he died, and he did that as soon as like the arrangement happened, which obviously
God.
knew. But afterwards, basically, Juliana skids to a stop as she bursts into the room. More crying, she shakes her head and throws up a hand. What the fuck? I'm definitely going to kill McKinley.
It's like there's a bit
to do.
There's a bit before that where she's basically like professing her love to Alex, and she says, I've never been in love before, and I don't know if I'm going to be any good at it. You're so incredible. I don't think I'll ever be able to live up to that. But I love you, and I love Juliana, and I never saw this coming, but I want to be in this with you guys. She sniffles, the tears now streaming down her face. I want spaghetti dinners and tea parties and movie nights on the couch. I want our little family. I want you, Alex. And I love you. And I was just sat there and I was like,
Okay. I want spaghetti dinners too.
Okay. Where's my tea party?
It's so cute.
And he's just one of these, isn't it, where like there's a bit like right before she calls him a good boy. And he's basically saying, I want someone to love all that I am. Not just a team captain, not only a dad. I want someone to see my heart and soul, all of me. And I want her to be that someone. And it's like, this dude just wants someone till he's just a baby. It's just a baby. And then gets called a good boy off her.
Yeah, but there's like a little bit. Is it before that where she's like eating her like broccoli or cauliflower or something, and
That's
Juliana's like,
hilarious.
Yeah, I will call you. I'll call you
She was like-
Daddy.
he was like, "Daddy, why don't you call her a good girl?" And she's like, "Yeah, Daddy, why don't you call me a good girl?" And then she just sort of goes,
Daddy,
"Oh shit,
tell Arya
well,
she's a good
swallow me
girl.
up now."
Daddy told Arya she's a good girl too. She ate her broccoli. I smirk and lean back against my chair. Yeah, Daddy, call me a good girl.
Yes, please.
There is so much funny shit in this book.
Oh,
There is.
it's the wit between them both. And they both
Sorry.
off each other so
You're walking a little funny. Everything okay? Let me see you get fucked by your anaconda dick and try walking without a limp the next day.
I knew he was hung like a horse.
Oh god, honestly, it just makes my day.
I just
Can we-
knew he was flopping about.
Can we take a minute to talk about like side characters?
I think there's some cracking side characters in this.
And there is, and it's like I want to know more about McKinley.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely loved him as a side character.
Yeah.
Is he getting
And
booked?
it's like it's the
He's
point
the only
where
one that's not got one, isn't it?
yeah, it's where they go to their book club because you know they're part of a
I
book club,
love
which is
that.
like the cutest thing going.
Yeah.
And it goes, all right, boys, let's let the very manly book club meeting commence. I scrunch my nose. The very manly book club. We needed a name, McKinley says. It's not going to be the name of our book club. I hold up my hand. Who made you president? I did, McKinley puffs out his chest. You can be captain on the ice. I can be captain of our smut books. Like,
Yes.
he's just...
Yes. Get it.
I'd love to know... I'd love a McKinley book because I just
Yeah.
want him to have
He's
a happily ever after.
he's like the class clown in it, and usually the people that are like that, they're a lot more damaged than they let on.
So
Yeah,
book
and I feel like
one-
he's hiding some shit.
So book one is called Heart Trick, and it's
Yeah.
about Trenton and Arya's best mate, because obviously that's a fake
An
dating.
arranged, is that an arranged marriage?
Fake
Fake
dating.
dating.
And then you've got Odd Man Rush, which is about
That's the
that's the
Polly,
front
isn't
book.
it? Yeah.
But there's only the 3 books in the series.
Somebody's missing.
And like I'd
She
love
may do
just
it.
to book. I just want, even if it's like a little novella,
Yeah.
just
Well,
give.
it might be coming because this was only released the 21st of March this year. This is a new release, really, if you think about it.
Kristen, please, if you're listening, I would like McKinley to have a happily ever after because I love that boy and I just want him to be happy. Please.
I would just say that Kristen is the sweetest author. I tagged her in a video on TikTok earlier because somebody had said that they wanted to use their platform to like promote like indie authors, so to like write comments of like indie authors. So I put Kristen. I love her TikTok as well. Like she's got so many like really. Yeah, she's so funny. And like I saw one where like she was like, "Oh, when your ex-husband said that you could never write or something like that," and then she said, "But now I have no ex-husband and 15 novels." There's like pictures of all of her books everywhere. I just thought, yes, queen.
Yeah.
But she's so funny and she's so sweet, and like she commented on that and was like, "Oh, thank you." And I just maybe we should try and get Kristen on the pod for when that McKinley book comes out. Maybe we should like put the vibes out there. Come on, Kristen.
I'm manifesting a McKinley book.
When we have a McKinley book, can we have you on the pod to talk about the McKinley book?
I would love that. I just feel like he needs his
moment.
Because like those guys have had their happily ever after now, and he's just like
gonna be like on his own.
Yeah, he's like vibing with like everyone else, but like he spends so much time with now like Juliana because Crum's always like, I'm gonna fucking kill him because he's teaching her bad words and bad phrases.
He's
But like,
he's such the uncle of the group.
yeah, he's the cool uncle that
Yeah.
everyone wants to hang out with.
Yeah.
But it's always the cool uncles that aren't doing too hard.
Well, so
Yeah.
just make us feel better, all right? Just put
Yeah.
our minds at ease, and just tell me he does really well. That's all I need to know.
He needs his happy ever after.
He does.
He does.
So on that note, that was Puck Pact.
I just
Read it.
honest to God, I literally came across it just off a singular quote. TikTok did me.
Oh, because he's a biker as well, isn't he?
Yes. Stunning.
It's like it's someone's made him and just gone, yes.
We need some of that. Some of that.
This.
Right. 6'5" hockey
Ooh.
player biker who's a single dad.
I thought you were going to say 6'5", blue eyes, trust fund.
Finance.
No, even though I feel like he is, because he's absolutely fucking loaded, isn't
Yeah.
he?
And
I
technically,
don't think he's got
he's
blue
sort
eyes.
of a trust fund baby.
I don't think he's got blue eyes. Sure, he's described somewhere.
Not sure.
I'm-
Either way,
I'm fine with either.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I know,
described as tall, dark features, wearing a black button-up with the sleeves rolled up on muscular forearms and a pair of jeans hung on his thick thighs. It's the rolled-up shirt again.
Yes, the arms.
Look at him being a little slut.
So next, rather than an unhinged book of the week, we've got a book highlight of the week. So we've got both Ellie and George, you've both read this.
Yeah.
But Ellie's going to go through it with us, or both of you can, whichever.
I'll just dip my thoughts in the note.
And it's Morsel by Audrey Rush. So the blurb. My violent desires are harmless. My fantasy tends to scare most women away, but my daydreams never hurt anyone. When I find Mona, a mysterious artist with similar sensual needs, we indulge in role-playing. It seems like I found my dream girl. But while we grew closer, Mona's desires become more extreme, and my primal cravings become harder to control. As her secrets are exposed, it's increasingly difficult to tell right from wrong, hunter from prey. I'm not actually supposed to hurt her, but then I realise Mona isn't just playing along with my fantasies, she's playing with me, and I refuse to be her toy. Author's note. This is a slow burn horror story with explicit content. An extended content list is located on the author's website. Reader discretion is advised. You should definitely not listen to this if you are by any means queasy.
Yes.
Can't deal with gross things.
Can't deal with forced upon explicit things.
So I've got the content warnings. And here they are.
Here we go.
So, we have animal death, car accident, defilement of animal corpses. The main male character uses meat and the whole animal corpse. Flashback of child abuse, multiple scenes, detailed physical and emotional abuse only. Parental death, emotional abuse, abusive parent is murdered. Sex worker abuse, referenced in flashbacks and art descriptions. Rape. Sex worker is raped in flashbacks. Main female character is raped in a scene. All rape is by the main male character. Cannibalism, period sex, menstrual blood eating. Graphic violence includes cervix stabbing, decapitation, amputation, physical manipulation, drugging, murder, sharing, threesome main characters, and a third person there teaching the art of cannibalism. A cruel rapist main character who has absolutely no remorse, force feeding, necrophilia, slow burn horror, the build-up is slow, and the carnage is at the end. If you have any questions about the triggers, contact Audrey. The kinks that are involved are food play, knife play, blood play includes human and pig's blood, period play, breath play, degradation, non-con, cage, Confinement, restraints, threesomes, main characters in the third person they're teaching, something like exhibitionism, spy snail windows, primal chase, and fair play.
Nice.
So that's everything for Morsel.
And that's all we've got time for today because that was so long.
She's done.
She's done, she's gone, she's out.
Bye. See you.
I'm just going to pop up shop.
I'm just gonna-
Take over.
I'm just going to walk away now and end this friendship. Oh, shit.
So overall, it's a really, really fluffy romance. It sounds great.
It's
I'd
a very cute little romance. No,
you know when you just love someone to death that you just want to eat them.
Yeah,
that's this book.
That's Kent
in real life.
But we like Kent, as bad as it sounds.
Yeah, don't hate us for the shit that Kent does. Right, we know it's wrong. We know it's bad, but Kent did not deserve what Mona did to him.
No. I'm sorry, but like I knew something was a little bit dodge with her as soon as she was sort of mentioned. So we have our main male character, his name is Kent. He has certain
tastes,
fetishes, should we say.
For the human salami.
Yeah.
Why do you keep ruining? Stick to one food and compare it to one food every single time. Because my list of foods I can't eat is now the size of the arm.
It's just so. Kent has a lot of issues, specifically mummy issues.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Classic.
Right from the get-go, it's mummy issues and women issues.
Yeah, he sort of screams incel, but the fact that he's described as being really hot doesn't help.
Yeah. So, why would you do that? Why would you make him like that?
My earliest highlight from Morsel was on page 52.
Oh, mine was the dedication.
What was the dedication?
For the horror readers who dream of being hunted and eaten.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember that.
So you can chase me and then take a bite out my ass afterwards.
See, I kind of prefer, like, chase me, and then you can, like, lick my ass after. But
no, Kent's going in for a bite.
All intact, please. You know?
So I'll read you out my earliest one.
A little snip.
So this is his like brain, his little like conversations with himself in his head. Yeah. You can't actually eat her. It might be tempting to take a small bite. You can't fuck a woman who wants to be eaten. You'll take one little nibble, and that'll turn into more. And before you know it, you'll be fucking her battered pussy and eating her tongue like it's a fucking buffet. You can't be a monster. You can't. Control yourself, Kent. Control yourself, and you'll get what you want.
It's like he's looking at his dick going, get down.
Stop it.
Down now, boy.
Stop it.
No good.
But like he's again, so like when we talked about Skin, and I can't remember what the guy's name is in Skin.
Is it Teddy? And
he's constantly going, I'm not a necrophiliac.
Yeah,
I'm not. Kent does the same thing about being a cannibal.
All the way through is like, I do not eat people. Like fucking brony thing, I do not eat people. I will not eat boobies.
I promise to not eat people.
Yeah. I promise I'm not a cannibal.
He's like, I promise, I'm not a cannibal. However, I did take a tampon out and eat it. Because that's what he did. He
Oh
takes it
yeah,
out of
yeah.
the rubbish.
He just out the bin, down the back of the throat, right to the back teeth. Sucky, sucky, licky, licky in the bin.
He also scrapes her out like forbidden jam and spreads her on toast.
Yeah, because he says a little something in chapter 4 where he goes, no, I want to fuck her vagina with a knife until it's pulp and then eat it like it's bolognese.
And I mean, he does, because he stabs
Like
her
bolognese.
cervix.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, he does.
This poor family, right? All they want is spaghetti bolognese and tea parties.
And we bought it.
So does Kent, apparently.
He literally gives her a smear. And
With an
then
eye.
does a little whittling. He goes, oh, that looks like jam. I'll put it on my toast. And he's like, but technically, when he realises that she has periods, he's like, oh, I can actually eat her without eating her.
He's like, oh, fucking loophole.
Yeah.
I can keep her alive
Loophole.
and eat her.
It's like all the way through, he's like, I want to eat her, but I don't want her to die.
Yeah, because he's like, he's convinced that Mona is like his dream girl,
Yeah.
like
What a
she's
conundrum.
everything that he could ever want.
Mm.
But really, Mona is a conniving bitch who's going behind his back.
She is a sly dog.
And it's the fact that, like, it's gotten to a point where Kent's actually like, you know what? Fuck you.
Fuck this.
I'm done. And then whilst he's at work, she's decided to go to his little murder hut in the middle of nowhere with his offal pits.
His murder trailer.
I've just remembered what happened.
And she's now covered the whole place in blood. She's covered in blood. And she's sat there with like her hands out and what look like little fingertips on her hands. And she's like, eat it, I've done it for you.
Yeah.
And Kent's like,
So
yes, bitch.
he's like, delicacy.
And then she also supposedly cuts off 2 of her toes as well as for him to eat.
This little piggy went wee wee wee.
And Kent's like, this is amazing. I want to cut them off. I want to
let me have a go at cutting your pingoos off.
But Mona's like, no, you can't do that. You can't see it. It's all for no, you can't do it. Then we find out what she was actually doing. And it was her husband.
Yeah, we also find out that she's married.
Yeah, she's married. And she's fucking Kent on the side. He's a special effects artist. And he was making all of these appendages. So it wasn't her. She'd never cut anything off.
Yeah.
Or anything like that.
How did he not realise that they weren't real fingers and toes when he was eating them?
I think he was so blindsided by her that he was in like an absolute bloodlust rage where it was like, this woman is doing this for me and I'm just going to take everything that she will give.
I can get.
But when it gets to part 2, his whole character just flips. It does full 180.
I remember what he does to her because I remember you telling because spoiler, we filmed this episode before because technical difficulties.
Yeah.
We always have them.
In the first part, he's very submissive and he's very, I feel like a stupid little boy and this and this. And obviously when he finds out that she's been doing the dirty and completely fucking lying to him, he turns like full blown
psycho.
Extra psycho than he was before.
That's odd.
He just goes, I'm done with this. I want to roast you like a turkey.
Does he like cut off all of her limbs?
So I'm just going to read you another segment, right? And this is when Kent sort of he was trying to suppress his fantasy, but he's gone full blown now.
Oh yeah.
And it goes, after all, it's just a porn star wiggling in a sleeping bag, pretending it's a giant carnivorous worm. It's just a computer-generated dinosaur eating a screaming naked woman. Or maybe it's an erotic horror story about a man devouring a woman piece by piece. And I read that and I was like, that fourth wall is broken. I don't know how to compute anymore.
Computer makes sense.
What is going on? And because he's got Mona in a cage at this point. She's killed Artemis. He's gone in fire.
Wouldn't he cut his head off and
Keep it under the bed.
yeah.
And that's her husband.
Yes. He goes, I was going to keep you alive for a long, long time. I murmur as I bend down close to her face. I thought I loved you, but I guess I never did. You can't kill someone you love, can you? Whoopsie.
We'll find out.
Right.
And then he like chops.
He
The arm
turns
goes
her
first.
into a chicken nugget at the end of the day.
Yeah. Arm goes first, then a leg goes, then the other leg goes, then he takes the other arm, and then he puts her in a rosemary dish. He puts her in a bacon dish with some rosemary and butter,
Bit of seasoning on.
loads of garlic, and puts her in the oven.
Wow.
And
roast her for 180.
roast her alive. And then
you didn't say that last time.
no, he's yeah. She's in there like a turkey on Christmas.
I was going to say, I really fancy a well-seasoned, moist chicken.
That's it.
Yeah,
I'm concerned.
And then he takes off. Doesn't he? In his RV, he takes off.
But he keeps her head.
He keeps the body.
And
he
just keeps slicing little bits like she's cooking bologna or something.
Because it's the end chapter. Oh no. The end. Here we go. Is this the end chapter?
I'm trying to find my end chapter.
I'm trying not to yawn.
Sorry.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure before he roasts her, when she's just a head and a torso, that he does have sex with her.
Yeah, he does.
I was going to say how, but then I remembered your vaginas and you told
me. The vagina's still there, yeah.
He keeps, like, her body in, like, a duffel bag in the back of his closet.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Pretty sure that'll start to smell at some point.
So it says, popped on the floor behind a few duffel bags, I pick up the only corpse with its head intact. No legs, no arms, just a torso. The skin is brown and dried like leather to touch, and slices have been shaved off the cheeks and stomach. Layers of skin flake off the corpse, and a cockroach crawls out from the hole in the breast area. I swat it away and pick up the skin flakes from the ground. Nothing will ever be wasted when it comes to her, my little morsel. I take Mona to the folding table. Her pussy is fucking...
I know it's like a fucking leather shoe.
Her pussy is like fucking the scaly skin of a pineapple now. But I do it because I owe everything to her. After all, she's the one who helped me embrace my true self. Her eye sockets are now actually hollow caverns now. Her hair is burned off in patches, but she's still beautiful to me. A symbol of everything I've accomplished. I hammer inside of her, and the dry interior scrapes my dick. A patch of skin sloshes up her thigh stump. She stinks like a sewer, but no matter how many women I fuck, rape, kill, and eat, no one will ever feel as good as her. She's the only one who ever came close to understanding me. So he's like in his RV with her in the back of his closet, And all of the heads of the other women that he's now killed and eaten on display in his closet.
That is some Ed Kemper shit.
Well, he mentions, doesn't he? Mentions Dharma
Yeah.
in it.
I love a serial killer reference. That sounds really bad. I just like the epilogue me where he's just like, fuck this, because he ends up finding somebody else.
This is part of the epilogue. It says, most days I feel invincible, but sometimes the clarity rings through the hunger for a few seconds. I know I'm not unstoppable. Muse had 1, Fish had at least 3, and Dharma had 16. We all have our weaknesses, especially when it comes to our pride. But I'm better than them. They got caught, but me, I'm smarter, stronger, faster. I've avoided the government before. I can do it again. And it's like, Kent, no, you can't.
You sassy bitch. I'm just going to give you a little snippet of, and I think it's the last thing that I've highlighted, just because I feel like you can get a visual of the whole scene.
Oh, I don't know if I want any more visual.
So, a carcass is slung over my lap. I slide a metal rod into the spine, lining it up with the woman's nervous system. It's a fucking bitch to do, but it helps to paralyse the tissue, keeping the body from rigor mortis a little while longer, and it helps with roasting. The fishermen like to insert the rod straight into the fish's spine. Personally, I enjoy sliding it into the woman's ass first, then pushing it through the spine and up out of the mouth. I like gutting them like that. It's my favourite kind of spit roast. And on that note, we're all tapped in the head.
You two are tapped in the head.
But I rated it 5 stars and absolutely loved it.
I think this is the thing that I struggle with. It's like, I appreciate the writing and the descriptions and how just descriptive it is, but
it's not right.
It's too disgusting for me.
I truly think that I'm entering like my erotic horror era, just because like I enjoy as weird as this sounds. I enjoyed Skin. I enjoyed Morsel. I'm currently making my way through another Audrey book. And I think it's like, I can't do horror films. I can't do it. This spooky. I know.
It's too spooky.
But I can read an erotic horror book and it not really bother me.
I think personally, so when you read a horror book, or like a thriller that's really bad,
very thrillery,
it's like, it's not bad because it's like, it's just facts. Like,
It's just words on paper.
It's a story.
It's just paper.
But with an erotic horror, because there's the element of the sexual part of it and that they get off on it and you actually, you go into their psyche so much. I don't know, for some reason, erotic horror is just, for me,
I feel like it becomes very real, doesn't it? Like, because in a real world, there is people like this.
Yeah. And I think, like, in a horror book, like, I know that there's people like that, and I know that, you know, it's that kind of thing, but for some reason, you don't get into the psyche of them as much as you do with these kinds of books, and it's just...
It is one of them, you can either take it, or you can't. And there's nothing wrong with being like, this is too much for me. But then you flip it the other way of saying there's nothing wrong with really fucking enjoying it as well.
Yeah. And that's what, like, I just know that for me personally, I just really can't. Like, even just sitting here, like, I laugh and I joke because it's thingy, but I just find it really hard to even just sit in here.
To just listen to it.
Like, when I know that this is coming up, I literally dread it.
We've tainted her completely.
Oh, I feel like we've got an episode coming up, and I feel like
we're going to be hearing.
Me and Jordan going to get.
We're going to be hearing from Ellie's therapist afterwards. She's going to be sending us a bill.
Yep, I am. I'm going to send you a bill.
Grab the grippy socks.
And then she's going to leave the group chat. She's going to block us on Instagram.
Bye.
And she's like, don't go near them two. They're not well.
Can we just do a fantasy or like a just a nice little romance book?
Can we do a nursery rhyme?
Even that's too hard.
I mean, there was
It fell off the wall.
There was nursery rhymes in Little Stranger.
I don't know. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I can do some and then others, but I think for me, it's very much mood orientated as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think erotic horror is like my complete, just no. Like, I'm just not even gonna try.
Yeah.
I think I've come to the point where I could read darker than that. I could go further than that.
But could
See,
you?
I don't know if I
that's
could.
not erotic.
Yeah.
I could read just like horror. I don't think I could
like
do
Pals.
I could just do straight up.
I don't think I could
read the
do.
Cows book.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Apparently,
I don't think I could do a darker erotic horror because there was points in Morsel where I actually had to. I threw up at one point, and I was put off food for at least like 2 or 3 days.
Oh yeah. There was bits in it where I thought, "What the fuck."
Like, I remember messaging Audrey after I'd finished it, just being like, I'm speechless. What the actual fuck? Yeah. When can Kent meet Teddy?
Yeah, I just, because she put on her Facebook group, she's like, because Skin was only short and there wasn't like much of a backstory with Teddy, she was like, what would you want to see from him? And I commented on someone else's comment that wanted a crossover between Kent and Teddy. And I was like, this is what we need. I was like, I'll read it. 2 of them just fucking...
They're both psychos, so like...
rivals.
But that was Morsel. It's not on KU. Don't try and look for it on KU.
You want it, buy it on Amazon. It's so worth it.
Yeah. If you want to know anything more about it, message us on Instagram or TikTok, because we will respond to you and we will trauma bond together.
Yeah. The we is those two, not me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I will not be discussing it any further.
I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
The next in the news.
No, so the next part of the actual pod episode is the book releases from the 7th of July to the 27th of July, because we missed a few. But believe it or not, there's only one book, and that is Play Along by Liz Tomford, which is out on the 11th. And that's a baseball romance.
Yeah.
The 4th book in the Windy City series, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's 2 baseball, 1 hockey, 1 basketball.
Mm-hmm. So,
I've never read a baseball one.
I haven't.
Neither have I.
Read lots of hockey.
I've read lots of that.
Maybe we should broaden our sports romance horizons.
Yeah, maybe we should be more sporty.
Maybe.
Sports.
Mentally.
Sports.
Yeah, not physically.
Physically, I can't do it.
I'll happily watch a hockey game.
But yeah, I'll probably work a sweat up doing that, but...
Yeah. I do. I get far too angry. So.
Oh, no, I was meaning the other way. No, man. Whoopsie.
So yeah, anyway, that was chapter 14.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Ellie, take it away.
Yeah, so if you want to connect with us on any of our socials, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. We are always happy to respond to you. We love your comments, and we're absolutely loving the engagement that we're currently getting. If you could leave us a review, that would be the best thing. It'd probably make our year, because the more reviews we get, the more Spotify pushes us out to you guys. And we want to make
We want
this
to
little.
achieve the goods. We want to
We
bring
want
them
to
back.
make this little Bookish baby cult a bigger thing because we are absolutely loving the engagement that we are currently getting. Like the comments that we are getting, it's so fun to be able to have a giggle with you in the comments. But yeah, we're absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Peace out.